Evening, David. Evening,
Okay, your mic is on mute, but
hello. Hello. Hello.
okay. I'm sorry that my network went off. I hope you can hear me. Okay, I'm sorry, my went off, but I'm back online now. I hope you can hear me. Gladness, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay. So before I left, I was giving shout out to those that came very early, and on my list I had Stephen. Stephen, I said you should unmute your mic and say hi to us.
Evening, David. Evening, everyone.
Okay, good. Okay, good evening, Stephen. Okay, then I had Jen A, Gladness, Fitsum, and one of our own that took us on our session day before yesterday. That is Justice Obasi. Justice Obasi, I welcome you to the meet.
You're welcome, David. Good evening.
Okay, good evening, sir. Okay, nice. All right. So day before yesterday, we started our session on C programming, and we talked about introduction to C. It was taken by Justice Obasi here, and then yesterday we went on to do our operators, comments, and then sequence where you have to escape some. Okay, escape sequence where you have to escape some special characters using some of the special escape sequences. So today we'll be going into our if, else, and then ternary operator. Okay, I believe we've started on our if, else already. And today we'll be introducing that to us so that we could see how the concept is and then try to apply them in other tasks. And then we will try to solve maybe 3 or 4 tasks from our project. And then our sign, okay, this is when we are actually going to start doing some of the tasks on our C programming tutorial, because I could not add to the tasks we had there. Okay, it was kind of stressful having to maybe add more numbers to it since we already had number 1. But from number 1, it had if else statement. That's why I had to wait for us to start if else before I say we could do the tasks. Okay, so I'm not the one who's supposed to take the class. Someone is supposed to take the class. So okay, he's already here with us. Okay, so Abdullah Hamid Sanusi is one who's going to take us today, while I'll just sit back, and then when it's time for us to do the project, that's when I'll come in so we could do some of the project together and show us how to apply the concept he's going to teach us. Okay, so in the house today, I have one of our own too. We have so many of our own that are motivating us to do more. Okay, so he's one who's going to take us on the if else statement and then the ternary operator, which is just like the if else. Okay, I welcome Abdul Hamid Sanusi. Abdul Hamid, please, I hand over the mic to you.
Hello, good evening.
Okay, good evening, Sanusi.
Can you hear me very well?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Abdulhamid. I'm also a student like you, so I don't think there is any elaborate introduction needed for me to do. All right. I especially appreciate Mr. David for all his efforts on every one of us here. His work so far has been very, very commendable, and then I kind of appreciate, and then it kind of motivates me when I'm in settings like this. That's why I just decided to okay, let me be a part of this as well. So this evening is not like we're not doing something too complex. I don't want you guys to see it as complex, so that's why I say it's not too complex. Although it can be complex if you don't really know much about it. But let me just tell you it is not complex because it is really not complex. So let's get right into it. Today we'll be looking at ternary operators and if-else statements. So it's not really much of a thing like I had said earlier, but let's just start right away. So it won't be like I'm using my mouth to sugarcoat everything for you. Let's do some action, let's do some practice, and then with time I believe everyone as well will get it. So let me share my workspace. Please hold on. I'm not sure if you guys can see my screen. Can anyone see my screen?
We can see your screen.
Alright. So I'm not actually using a PC today, so I'm so sorry about that. But I just feel like I prefer to illustrate more because I'll be able to write and then do everything with my pen and all of that. So that's how I prefer to use my phone actually. So let's talk about ternary operators first, and then we'll move to if-else statements. So I just want you guys to just see this as in ternary operators is more or less like very similar to if-else statements. It's just that their difference is just in the way that they are written. Let's take for instance, please hold on.
Okay, so while he's trying to set up his workspace, I want to say if you have your questions, you write them down. It doesn't matter where the question is coming from. It could be coming from your project, whatever question it is, you write them down so that when it is time to ask your questions, you could give it to us. Okay? I hope we can hear me. Okay, whatever difficulties, whatever tasks you've not been able to do inside of your if-else project, please note down that particular task so that after the lessons, when we are on to solving the task, you will mention it and then we'll see how we attempt it with the concept we are going to do today. So just give him a minute. He's trying to set up his workspace.
All right, can you guys see my screen? Sorry about that. It was kind of technical issues from my end. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
All right, so let me just do some little illustrations on this piece. So I'll talk about ternary operators. So for people that will just be joining us, so they will know what concepts we're talking about. So I'll talk about ternary operators. Where we okay, let me just first start. Let's start from operators. When we talk about operators, we all know that operators is divided majorly into three parts. We have the unary operators, we have the binary operators, and then we have the ternary operators. Just like the name implies, Unary is just talking about single operators. And then let me give a generic example. Look at this now. Look at this expression now. I'll talk about A is equals to 3 plus 5. In this whole expression now, we have operators, we have operands. So the operator are this sign that we use to do the evaluation of what is in our expression. Just like in this A is equals to 3 plus 5 now. An operator is what we are going to use to like carry out the task. Okay, A is a variable. You want to assign it as a variable. What do you want it to do? Okay, I want it to be equals to something. I want it to be added to something. I want it to be divided by something. So that is just what operands allow us to do in expressions. So, for instance, now this is a variable, and then this is an operand. This is an operand. So this is a variable. This is an operand as well. So what the operator allows us to do, like I said, is it allows us to like carry out evaluation tasks. So let me just spin it that way, and let me keep it easy and simple like that. So when we talk about ternary operators, majorly, most of the time, ternary operators is basically based on the use of question marks and this column mark, and then this question mark. So how is it applied now? Let's say we have something like this. Expression 1. We have expression 1. So when you want to use ternary operators, it's always like saying, okay, if a variable is, you want to check if a parameter is going to actually be feasible in one end, and if it's not going to be feasible in one end, what is the alternative that can be used instead of that first alternative that you want to use? You get, so that is basically what this one is more of. So let's say we have expression 1, and then we have this question, then expression 2, then expression 3. So what this one is basically trying to like say is we are talking about, okay, expression. We are talking about a specific parameter here, but then we want to check if that parameter is going to be true. If it's going to be true, like let's say, okay, you state a fact here now. You state a fact at the first instance. If that fact is true, then this would be executed. However, if that fact is not true, if this fact that is here is not true, this will be executed instead. Expression 3 will be executed instead. So the idea behind ternary operator is more or less like talking about if or else statements. So that's why I said that they are more or less like the same, because once in a while when you don't really want to make use of if else statements, you make use of ternary operators. So let me just keep it simple and clear that way, so it doesn't look too complex. So let's just talk about if else operators, if else statements, because that is more of. All right. I don't know if you guys can still hear me. Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah,
All right.
I can hear you.
All right, that's great. So let's talk about if else statements. If else statements is generally in this syntax, generally takes this syntax. If condition 1, we have condition 1. If condition 1, like let's say instance 1, then you have something to be executed. Let's say expression 1 is executed. However, if condition 1 is not true, else, that is where else statements come in. It's just like saying, okay, when you want to you want to shop for groceries now, and then when you are making your list, you are more of like, okay, I want to buy a particular brand of soap, a particular brand of bathing soap now. But then you feel like, okay, what if when I get to the grocery store, they do not have that particular type of bathing soap that I need to buy? Okay, what other alternatives can I make use of? So I don't just go to the grocery store and I end up not getting the bathing soap. Can you still see my screen, guys?
Yeah, we can see your screen, but it's still on the lock screen.
Okay, that must be. How about now?
I can see your screen now.
All right, that's perfect. So, like I was saying, when we talk about if else statements, it's more or less like, okay, you want to be, you want to have a lot of options. You want to have more than one option. You don't want to just stick to, like, just be sticking to just one direction all the time. So that is what if or else statement is more like. So just like the bathing soap instance that I was giving, when we want to use if else statements, is majorly due to the fact that we want to evaluate two occurrences against one particular one particular circumstance. Let's say we have one. You need to buy bathing soap. So you don't want it to be that when you get to the grocery store, you end up not buying the bathing soap. You want to have at least different options. So it's either you buy X bathing soap. Your main aim is to buy X bathing soap. But like if there are no X bathing soap in stock, then you go for Y bathing soap. So that is what if else statement is more or less like. So when we apply it in C programming, is basically like we are trying to evaluate if this condition is going to hold. If it's going to hold, okay, perform this action. If this condition does not hold, then don't perform the action. Just move to the next code. You get? So that is how if or else statement works. So let me see if I can draft out examples. Can you guys still see my screen now?
Yes, I can see your screen.
All right. So let me take some examples, for instance, because I know a lot of people will be wondering, okay, how does if else statements work? How does ternary operators work? If we don't do examples, there's no how we'll be able to like show give a perfect illustration of, okay, this is how this one works, this is how that one works. So let me just give examples. see. Okay, so now we want to write a program to check ages of students. All right, so the program is to check if a particular category of these students, if they are in a particular age range, a specific age range, we are going to like take an action like, okay, print the age of these students is this. But if they are not in that particular age range, you should rather write you are too old, something like that. So let's see how it goes. No, just like the normal standard programming functions. Your include stdio.h, your main function, writing description and all of that. So I'll just skip all that.
Okay, I'm not sure what happened. Perhaps it's a technical issue, but should be back with us in a minute. Okay, let's just exercise some patience. But while we're waiting for him, okay, let me just check the comment box for questions. I have been trying my humble. Okay, I've read that. Okay, I don't know, but he'll be back with us in a minute. So what he was trying to say is if else statements are used to choose either of one option, depending on whatever you want. Hold on, let me reach out to him. Everything is all right. Hold on, please. Okay, hang on. Let me just share my screen so we could move on. When he comes back, he can continue. Okay, so Stephen, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so I don't know why, but he will be with us in a minute. So let me just go on to if statement. If statement should be conditional statement. Yes. So what are if statements? If statements are functions you could use to choose one out of many options that you may have. Okay, for example, just like he was trying to give an example. Let's say we are trying to build an app for the app is meant for people 18 years and above. And then somebody who is below 18 years is trying to use the app. Of course, we should have a condition that says if you're not up to 18 years, you can't use the app, right? So that is basically what an if statement is used for. Okay? So let me just go on and give us examples. I wonder what happened to Abdulhamid. Okay. Okay, so we already know our data types and variables and all those things. So we'll just move into, so we are going to have int age, right? Let's say age equals to, okay, let me say we're just going to have age. Then we are going to ask the user for input. Printf. I'm sure we already know how to do this. Enter your age. just make this as quickly as possible so that we have other things to do. So we use scan F to collect the input. I'm still wondering what happened to Abdulhamid. So I'm going to have H here, right? So if statement, how do we write our if statement? This is how we write our if statement. If statement, as I said earlier, is basically to choose one out of many options. So this is the syntax to write an if statement. So you write your if keyword and then your parentheses, will open it. Then inside of this, you have your test expression. What is a test expression? A test expression is what you are trying to test for. Okay, that could be if this your
Hi,
test
can you hear me?
expression. Okay, is that Abdullahid?
Yeah, I am. I think
Okay,
I had to like rejoin with another mail. I was getting an error message that I can't join with my old mail, so I had to change mails.
okay, thank God.
I
It's
didn't
already back.
even know I got cut off, so I was still even talking. If I go back to my workspace now, I'll see that I've written. I didn't know that I was already cut off.
All right, thank God. Okay, welcome back.
Yeah, I'm sorry about the technical glitches.
No, it's okay. We understand.
All right, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
All right. So I was saying that we should test if or else statement to better understand the concept by writing a C program that will check the ages of students. Let's say we have like 20 students in a class, and then the age range of this.
I'm not sure what's going on, but it's technical errors. It happens sometimes. He has left the meeting already again. It happens. It could be his network. So please, you just bear with him. Okay? Please. Okay, so I will just continue until he's back again. Please. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So let me just continue. Okay. So I was explaining if statement. Please, you just bear with us. Sometimes this happens. Okay. So as I was saying, this is your test expression. What you are actually trying to test for. If this evaluates to true, then this line of code, your body of your if statement is going to be evaluated. It's going to be executed. That's the word. But if this evaluates to false, then it's going to skip this line of code and go into whatever other functions you have or whatever lines of code you have in your statement. So let's just go into it. Okay, he just texted me.
Please, can you zoom it a little bit for us to see it well? Because especially the dark background that you use, we're unable to see some of the writings. Please.
Okay, do you mean this screen or this screen? This one?
Yes, this one and then the actual editor.
Okay, is it okay now?
Yes, please. It's okay now. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, so let's go into the practical aspect of it. So I will just write my keyword as we saw it, and then I open my parentheses, and then what am I testing for? Remember, I said we are trying to write a program that checks for the age of these people. Let's say I'm writing an app, okay, and in the app, it is meant for people 18 years and above. So if you are less than 18 years, the app will tell you, okay, you are not eligible to use this app or anything like that. But if you are up to 18 years, it will tell you, okay, you can use the app. Okay, that's what it's telling. That's what we were trying to do. So in this case, I'm going to say if age is greater than 18, it should tell us use this app. Okay, so in this case, I'm sure we learned about our operators yesterday, logical operators, ternary arithmetic and all those. So if age is greater than 18, greater or equals to 18, yeah, greater or equals to 18, what should happen? You open your parentheses because, of course, your curly braces, inside of your curly braces where you write the body of your if statement. So whatever comes inside of this place is what is going to be executed if this statement evaluates to true. Okay, remember yesterday we learned that, in our introduction to C, we talked about the main function. Whatever goes inside these curly braces is what is going to be executed. So this is also a function in C programming. Whatever goes inside of these curly braces is what will be executed if this statement evaluates to true. That's what if statement is all about. So in this case, if age is greater or equals to 18, we should print to the user printf. You can use the app, right? That's just on this program. Enter your age. I'm going to enter 12. Then I hit enter. Nothing happens, right? Because we don't have any other thing to say. If you are less than 18, something should happen. I'll run the program again. Now, in this case, I'm going to put 19, run 119. Okay. Now it's saying you can use the app. Why? Because age is greater than 18, right? That is what if statement is all about. If this statement is true, it should execute this. And in this case, this is true. That is why this is executed. So you could have multiple statements inside of here, whatever it is, depending on what you're trying to write. I could say, you are an adult. Yeah, an adult. So I'll run this again. I'll say 18. I'm supposed to put that in a new line. Even run the program again. I'll say I am 19. Say you can use the app, you are an adult. So that is what an if statement is. If this is true, then do this. So what happened to if the person is less than 18 years? What should happen? Of course, that's where our else statement comes in. So the else statement is there that if this evaluates to false, then the else statement should be executed. Okay? So just go ahead and create it. So the else statement, just like the if statement, you write your else keyword and then do this. And then whatever goes inside of this place becomes what you want to be executed. And in this case, I want to say you are, no, you cannot use this app. You cannot use the app. And I'll put a new line character. Then I'll say, I'll still print another thing and say you are a child, right? So I'll run the program. Okay, oh, sorry. I'm so used to my other languages already. So I'll write 18 years, then I hit enter. It says you can use the app, you are an adult. Why? Because this evaluates to true. So let's see what if I am less than 18 years. You cannot use the app, you are a child. That's because this statement evaluated to false, and so the else part of it, the else clause, is going to be executed. So that's basically what if else statement is all about. Please excuse me, let me answer Sanusi. Excuse me, let me answer Sanusi, please. Okay, so that is basically what an if-else statement is, for you to choose one out of many options. And mind you, I'm just using printf here for illustration purposes. You could do as, I don't know, whatever you might want to do, and it works. I could want to do if age is this, that, and then I'll create another function inside of here. So whatever it is you're trying to build, it depends on the concept you're trying to apply here. Okay, so you could have multiple if statements inside of this code you are trying to write. It will still work. Okay, now let me show something. Let us write another thing. What could we write? But I want to be sure that we understand what I'm trying to say here, the if-else statement. Okay, Didon, please ask your question.
Okay, thank you very much for giving this podium. Please, my issue is though some of us were unable to join the previous lesson, we find it difficult to get a concept of. But like using the scam, is it actually, if you can give a little explanation to the scan F or the scam, a little explanation to it for me, please.
Okay. I wouldn't want to go back to this because we did this yesterday. There's a video for that. You could watch the video and catch up with what we've been doing. Okay, but basically the scan F is used to take user input. Your print F is used to print to the screen, while the scan F is used to take input. So print F is for the output, scan F is for the input. Okay, and these functions are available instead of this stdio.h. That's if you remove this, you will not be able to use these two functions. You could use it here because this is an online compiler. Of course, they have a database where most of these functions are already defined. But in your native compilers, without this, you can't run this. It will flow. The scanf works. When you write a scanf keyword, you open your parentheses. Then in quotes, you put your format specifier that is going to replace this. Remember, this is a placeholder, as we discussed in printf. You could also do that in printf. So you put your, depending on what kind of input you're taking. In this case, I want to take input of int type. That's why I'm using modulo D or %D, as we call it. So after that, you put a comma, and then I put my placeholder, which is age. That is what is going to replace this, just like we will do in printf. But if you notice in this case, we have the ampersand symbol here. Now, the ampersand symbol is also called a reference operator, which means we are referencing to a memory address. You get to understand that when you start doing pointers. So this is referencing to the memory of this, that, okay, please help me take the input of this and store it in this place. That is what this operator is doing. If you remove this, if you take your input will not know what to do. So this is what the ampersand symbol is doing here. It's telling scanf, okay, you've taken the int type input, right? Help me store it inside of age. That is basically how it does. And then you end it with your semicolon as usual. Okay, so I hope you understand that. That is what scanf is used for. Do you understand that, Gidon?
Yes, please. I've understood it.
Oh, okay, great. So I believe we've gotten the concept behind if statement. Let me check if we have some examples here that we could play with. Okay, how if, okay, yeah, okay, check whether a number is odd or even. Okay, this is very good. So let's write another program that is going to take input and then we'll determine if, okay, let me still use age. So we are going to take input and then we'll use the if else statement to check if the number is odd or even. Our numbers that are divisible by 2, while odd numbers are numbers that are not divisible by 2. Okay, number that when divided by 2 gives a remainder are odd numbers. Okay, so let's go with our. So we'll say, just basically with what I'm saying, we already know what to write. So if age, remember when we discussed modular operator yesterday? I don't know if we did any examples on that to see how it works. Now the modular operator returns the remainder of the division we are trying to do. So if I should say, just like yesterday when you were given an example, if I should say 5 modulo 2, the answer is going to be 1. 1, yes. So 5 modulo 2 means 5, after you divide 5 by 2, what is going to remain? So in this case, 5 divided by 2 is going to give us 2 whole number and 1 remainder. Okay, then we should have something like a 6 modulo 2. It should be equals to 0. It means after dividing 6 by 2, what is the remainder? It's going to be 0. So that is how the modular symbol works. So in this case, I'm going to say if I divide age by 2, if age modulo 2, if after dividing age by 2 and the result is 0, right? What should happen? Printf or display to the user that modulo D is an even number, right? And then I'll go ahead and put my placeholder, which is for the age, right? And then I replace this with this. So that is that. Okay. what if it is not divisible by 2? Else what should happen? I would say else printf modulo d is an odd number, right? And then I go out here and say age, and I end it with my set of parentheses. So let's see. Enter your age. So I'm going to enter 12. 12 is an even number. Sorry, let me run that again. I pressed my enter keyboard twice. So I will enter 12 again. You see, it says 12 is an even number. Of course, 12 is an even number. So what if I enter 13? 13 is an odd number. It says 13 is an odd number. So you see, these are the simple ways we could actually use the if-else statement. Right now, you see the concept. So before I go into having if statement, I want to be sure we understand if and else statement. So I'm coming back to us now to ask, do we have any questions, or is there any way we are finding it difficult inside of what I just explained? Anybody? Do we understand what I'm showing us now? Okay, so everybody. Okay, everybody understands. Okay, that's very good. I'm happy to hear that. That means we are catching up. Now, we also have if, else if. Okay, we also have the else if statement. Okay, now the else if is, let's say we have, okay, what if we wanted to have multiple options here, more than just odd even
Please,
number?
let us try to see, if possible, your question, please.
Excuse me? I didn't hear you, please. Please, before you want to speak, you click on this button and raise your hand up so that I can give you the chance to speak. Only that will I be able to pay attention to you. Please, we don't like to interrupt ourselves here. Okay, so as I was saying, to the if-else statement. Let us go into the else-if statement now. Now, the else-if statement works, of course, exactly as the if-else. This is an addition of them. So what does it do? Let's say we had more than just these two options here. We had other options to include in our program. That is where else-if comes in, so that we could add more options. Let's say, for example, we want to create a program, still the simple program, and we want to say if the person's age is less than 18, you tell them you are a child, you can't use this app. If the person's age is between 18 and, let's say, 18 and 30, we'll tell them, okay, you're an adult, you can use this app. And then if the person's age is way, like, let's say, above 80, we'll tell them, you are too old to use this app. Okay, that is where else if statement comes in, so that we could add those other options inside this same line of code, or inside the same block of code. So I'll just go here and start the program again. Okay, so the syntax for the else if is just to write else if. You open your parentheses, then you put your test expression, and then you open your curly braces, and then you put the body of your code. So if this evaluates to true, then the body of your code is going to be executed. But if it evaluates to false, then it will skip this statement and go into the next block of code. Okay, it's very simple. I see if statement as one of the most interesting parts of, let's say, writing codes. So let's start with our program. Remember, if the age is less than 18, you are a child. You can't use this app. So someone's hand is up. Don't worry, I'll give you a chance to speak. So if age is less than 18, right? Less than 18, what should we do? We will tell them, you are a child. You are a child, right? Let me use that on a new line. And then I'll say you can't use the app, right? So we'll go into the next and say else if, my test expression, if age is greater than or equals to 18. Who remembers it's just like I'm bringing in everything we've learned from the beginning of the C programming tutorial till today. Who remembers our AND operator? Remember, I want to say if the person is 18, between 18 and 30 years, you can use the app. Okay? So I will say if age is greater or equals to 18 and age is less or equals to 30. That means if you are between 18 years and okay, that is my else if. Now you could have as multiple else if as you want. I could have another else if here. You can have even 100 of else ifs, but depending on what you want to write. Okay, so I have if age is less than 18, say this. Else, okay, let me have another else if statement. Else if age is greater than let's say 70. Let me use 70. If age is greater than 70, it brings F. You are too old. Definitely, you are too old to use this app. You are too old to use this app. Okay, you are too old to use this app. And then I could have my else. What is my else going to be for? Because we have if age is less than 18, if age is this. Okay, let me just run my program and see how it works. Else if age is expected what? Expected this before is. Okay, so sorry. I actually included the is. It is wrong. I was saying it out loud now. Okay, so I'm going to enter, let me start from less than 18. So I'll just enter 12. I love to think that I am 12 years old. You are a child, you can't use this app. You can't use the app. Of course, that's what we have here. So I'll run the program. I'll say I am 19. 19 is between 18 and 30. Okay. There's an error there. So definitely I'm going to remove this line of code. Okay, let me use the OR operator. Or let me just use it as simple as that. Okay, this could be network again. Let me highlight everything, copy it, and refresh my page. Okay, just hold on. That was network. Okay. Let me run this. Greater or equals to 18. Else, if age is greater than 70, you are too old. Okay. Yeah, there's a controversy there. I don't want it to happen. Okay. What is the OR operator again? Is it, this is the OR operator, right? Is it double or one? It should be one. Or age?
It is double.
Double, okay. It's been a while I wrote it, believe me. If age is less or equals to 30, right? Okay. So I'm going to enter 19. Okay, you are an adult, you can use the app. So you see if age is 18 or between 30. So let me try something like 30 or 29 on the Mac. You are an adult, you can use the app. So let me go out of 30 and say 70, something like 71, just to test that our program is working very well. You can use the app. Why? This should have been an and, not or. And is double. Is it double ampersand? Yes, it's double ampersand. Okay, 71. If that doesn't work, then okay. It's supposed to be double ampersand. I wonder why it didn't work that last time. So I didn't. We are too old to use this app. You are too. Okay. So you see, our program works correctly. So basically, everything we've learned from the beginning of our C program till today is what I have just used to create this program. So I hope we understand that. I'll just copy this code here. paste it here for us in case anybody wants to copy it and have a look at it too, or you want to have fun with it. Then you are free to. Okay, so I believe we understand the if, else if, and the else statement. I didn't include else here because I don't really see what I should be testing for in the else statement. So let me just open up the moment for question. So the first question I have here is Stephen. Stephen, let me hear your question.
I want to know the. Thank you. I want to know the difference between as if and else. What is the difference between the two? I don't understand as if very well, please.
Okay. The difference between else if and else. Okay, else if is not a special thing. Else if is just to, let's say we have, remember when we started we used if and else, and if and else is basically if we have only two options and want to choose only one. Okay, that was when we used the if. So if the option is true, we do this. If it's not true, we do the one inside of the else. Two options. What if we had 3 options, 4 options, or even 10 options? We cannot keep using if this is true, do this. If this is true, till we get to 10. So that's why we have the else if. The else if is there to give us more room to put in more options, which is what we just did now. So just the way you write your if statement, when you write your if keyword, you open the parentheses and put the test expression inside of it. And then you come out and open your curly braces and put in the body of your code. That is how the else if statement is. So you open up you write your else if keyword, and then you put in your test expression, what you're testing for, and then you open your curly braces and put in the body of your code, which is what we are trying to execute. So if this evaluates to true, then this is going to be executed. But if it evaluates to false, just like what we saw here, if none of this is true, it will skip this and go to the next one. So that is what else if is used for. Now, the difference between else if and else is that else if is part of the options we might want to use instead of the body of our code, while else statement is the default statement. Mark that keyword, default statement. So if none of these statements are true, the else statement is always going to be executed. That is what it means. So if our program checks this and it's false, it will check this. If this is false, it will skip and check this. If it checks all of them and they are all false, the else statement is always going to be executed without you giving it any option. So the last option left there is what is going to be executed. That is what the else statement is used for. It is the default statement in case other statement evaluates to false. That was why when we use it in our first program, if age is greater than 18, say you are an adult. Else what should happen? Say you are not an adult. So if the person is not an adult, of course, the next option is that you are a child. Okay, that is what the else statement is for. I hope you understood that, Stephen. Stephen?
Yes, understood.
Okay, very good. So the next person on my list here is Folakemi. Okay, Fola, go on.
Hi, David.
Hi, Fola.
Yes, can you please go back to the code? Yeah. This first if, I don't really get the part where you imputed to the first else if rather the part where you had to impute to, I think that should be variables, right?
Okay, you don't understand the code inside of these parentheses.
Yes.
Okay, were you there in the session? You were there. I saw you. When we learn about our logical operators and we learned about the AND operator too.
Yes, there was.
Okay. Please help me mute your mic. Okay, so this is the AND operator. Okay, we have the AND, the NOT, and the OR operator. So what is the AND used for? The AND is used for test for two expressions, to compare two expressions. So in the AND operator, the both statements must be true for it to be evaluated. So in this case, we are saying if age is greater or equals to 18 and if age is less or equals to 30. Now, if only this is true, this statement will not be executed. If this is true and this is false, this statement will not be executed. The both of them have to be true before we can say this whole statement is true. That is what the AND operator does. The both expression you are testing for should be true. Okay, that is what. Then the OR operator is used to test for either of one operation. So in the OR operator, if I say this or this, it means if this is true, then everything is true. If this is true, then everything is true. So if one is true, then we evaluate our statement. That is what the OR is used for. Then the NOT operator in the other case is used to test for the opposite. So if it is not true, it's true. If it is not false, it's true. That is what the NOT operator. I don't want to go into that. But then we want to check with the range from 18 years to 30 years is what we want to test for. So if you are 18 years and you are in the middle of let's say 18 and 30, that's what we are trying to test for here. So if age, the user input is greater or equals to 18, the person is an adult. And also if the age is less or equals to 30, you are an adult. So we are testing for between the range of age is greater or equals to 18, and it should be less than 30 years. That is what we are testing for. Okay? I hope you understand that now.
Yes, thank you.
Falakemi.
Yes, I do understand. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. You can bring down your hand now. Okay. Didon, you have a question? Okay, let's hurry up so we could solve at least one of our projects.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm on it, please. Thank you very much. We are very grateful for the nice tutorial given to us. But my question is, please, the editor that you are using, is it online editor? Okay. And if it's online editor, where will you get it to use it so that we can use it for our practicing? And also,
hold on. I did not hear you from the beginning. Your mic was mute. So please ask your question again.
Please, I was asking the editor that you are using for the coding. Please, is it an online editor? If yes, where can we locate it so that we can use it for practicing? And then also Okay,
go on.
Okay, and then my next question is the modulo D, is it always constant whenever you are applying it? The scan modulo D command and the age.
What do you mean it is constant?
The modulo, that's the percentage D.
Yes. I'm not sure I got your question right, if it is constant.
If it's, I'm asking, is it constant whenever you are introducing the scan?
It is not a constant. I'm using modulo D here because modulo D is the format specifier for int. Our age here is of int type. If this was a float, of course, I'm going to use modulo F. If it was a double, it's going to be a modulo LF. Or if it was a character, it will be modulo C. If it was a string, modulo S. So it is a placeholder for our age, and our age is int. That's why we're having this. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. So the first question.
Your first question, yeah, it is an online compiler, and I've sent the link to the comment box. You can see it here. Just click on that, and it will take you to the compiler. Okay, so you can lower your hand now. So, Kigali, please. Okay, let me hear your question.
Hi.
Okay.
I wanted to ask about the questions because I remember yesterday you wanted to give us questions. So I wanted to ask from this, are we gonna have like tasks to do and then you check?
Yes, we are going to have like the reason I couldn't give us tasks yesterday was because most of the tags I have available on our C programming tutorial had if-else. The beginning from tags 1 had if-else. So I wanted us to treat if-else statements so that I could say, okay, let's go on to doing the tags. So from today, I'm going to assign those tags to you.
Okay, and then how much time do we have to complete? Is it a day?
Okay. Actually, I will not give you time for that, but if you could do it in a day, I'll be impressed. Okay, I'll be happy to see it. if you could do it in 2 days, but it depends on your space because I believe most of us are working and ALX is on our neck too. So you could take your time to understand it and do it, and there's no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I will take the last one for now. Stephen.
Yes. I have not understood very well ternary operators. What is a ternary operator, please?
Okay. Okay, don't worry. We'll go to the ternary operator, right? But do you understand the if-else statement?
Yes, I understand.
Oh, okay, very good. Don't worry, we'll go into the ternary operator. My main aim here is the if-else because ternary operator is the shorthand of if-else statement. So if you can use if-else statement, when I introduce ternary, you'll grab the concept very well. Okay, so just sit back and enjoy yourself. Okay, so let me go into, I wanted us to solve a couple of our tasks. Okay, before I could just release the advanced tasks. Okay, so I wanted us to deal with some of the tasks in our project so that we could see how the concepts are being used. Because I love practical. Seriously, I love to write codes. One of my best things. Cool. Okay, so let me see. This says the program will assign a random number. I don't want to solve anything that I have to use a source code. I want something that I'll write from the beginning. But this is not very difficult. They've written the code already for you. It's just for you to go in and complete it. Okay, and from that you should learn about ran, sran, and ranman. I use this in writing a game. I could send you the code if you want. A guessing game. I don't want to go into that. This one says the program will still the same thing. I don't want to do that. Write a program that prints the alphabet in lowercase followed by a new line. Okay, that sounds a little bit interesting. But we've not learned about the for loop. So why are they giving this? I don't know if people have learned it, but this statement, I have to use a for loop to actually iterate through it. Okay, let me just show us. Even if we've not, no, this is this has to do with for loop. Write a program that prints the alphabet in lowercase, then follow. This is a for loop. I thought this was supposed to be if else. Write a program that prints the alphabet. Come on. Write a program that prints all single digits. Come on, these are all. Write a program that prints the lowercase alphabet in reverse. Write a program that prints all the numbers of. Are you serious? Single digit number. Let me bring all. Okay, I'm not seeing what I'm looking for here. People are raising up their hand. Okay, it's in a different project. Please, which of the project has the if else? So I want to solve some of our projects on if else. Nested loop. Okay. So I clicked on the wrong project. Really? Variables, if else. I clicked on if else, please. Someone help me. This is it. I clicked on if else. I don't know. Where can I find it? I clicked on if else. Okay, notwithstanding, it has the topic if else. Right? It's about loop. Everything I'm seeing there is loop. So I have a program for us. It's in the tax, but I want us to do something practical here. So I'm sure we've heard of FizzBuzz. I'll make this multi-line comment. How do you write multi-line comment? Because FizzBuzz, right? FizzBuzz. So what is FizzBuzz? Now, FizzBuzz is a program that when the number is, you print a number from 1 to wherever you want to, maybe 1 to 100. Now, any number that is multiple of 3, you replace with the word fizz. Any number that is a multiple of 5, you replace with the keyword buzz. Any number that is a multiple of both 3 and 5, you replace with the keyword fizz buzz. How do you end your like this? Right? I was supposed to end. Okay, sorry. My bad. But that was supposed to end. Okay, that ended. Okay, so I'm sure we got this. Now we are going to write a program that prints the numbers from, let's say, 1 to 100. Okay, now in any number that's multiple of 3, like 3, 6, 9, you should replace it with fees. And any number that is a multiple of 5, like 5, 10, 15, you should replace it with buzz. Now, any number that is multiple of both 3 and 5, we should replace it with fees buzz. Does that sound interesting enough? Okay, so now let's just get into it. So I will just I could say we should write this program in different ways. We'll ask the user for input for the range they want to write it in. Or we could just go ahead and, I don't know. Excuse me, I'm trying to check for something. Okay. So let me just clear the text. Let's go. Okay, so this is going to be my number. Int number. Okay, so I'm going to use a for loop here to actually have the numbers I'm looking for. So don't worry yourself about that. You will learn about for loop for int I equals to 1. I is less or equals to, let's say, let me use num. So let me just assign something to num. Let's say num is equals to 50. So don't bother about the for loop. Then we say I plus plus. I'm sure you learned about this increment operator yesterday. We are going to say, let me just show us what this is going to do. Modulo D, and then we say I, we are printing I. So I'll add space here. So this should print from 1 to 50 if my code is correct. What? Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 till 50. That is what this line of code is. Now, where this comes in, if in the place of 3, we should have fees. In the place of 6, we should have fees. In the place of 9, we should have fees. In the place of 5, we should have buzz. In the place of 10, buzz. In the place of 15, we should have fees, buzz. In the place of another 5 and 10, we should have another 3 and 5, we should have fees, buzz. That's what this program is about. So that is that. So we'll now say if, just inside our for loop, because this printing of these numbers is inside our for loop, right? If I modulo D, modulo 2, sorry, modulo 3 equals 0, and I'm writing it very slowly. If I modulo 5 equals 0, what should happen? Printf modulo D. No, sorry, printf fees buzz. I'm going to show something at the end of this. Else, if modulo 3 equals 0, what should happen? Printf fees. Oh God. Okay. Else if I modulo 5 equals 0, right? What should happen? We say printf buzz. Hope I'm correct. Buzz, and then we end it with this. And then we say else printf modulo D, print I. So I'm going to add space here, so our code will be readable, space here, and I'm going to comment out this line of code. Okay, let me run the code. I hope so. What did I do wrong? Else without a previous if. Okay, oh, my bad. Come on, man. So you mean everything I just wrote here is I'm sorry, I didn't include my inside of this. This was supposed to have coily braces. Okay. This for this, and then I'll hit it. I'll close it, and then I paste that. No. Okay, so forgive me on that one. That was my own fault. Let me just reformat it. Sorry. Okay, this should run now. Okay, this should run now. Okay, so you see what? Oh God. So I'll run it again. So you see our program just runs successfully. We have 1, 2 fees, 4 bars fees, 7, 8 fees, bars 11 fees, 13, 14 fees, bars 16. So yeah, that is the program. That is how you could use your if statement, your if, else, if, and else statement. I hope we found this meaningful enough. Okay? So I wanted us to solve some of our projects on if, else, but unfortunately, I couldn't find any tags on if, else in our project. Rather, they were just loops, and we've not covered loops yet, which is what we are going to do maybe after the if, else. Okay? So now I want to leave the room for questions. Let me copy this code and paste it for us so that we could also have access to it. Sorry. It's not complete. Yeah, it's just running the return statement. So let me open the room now for questions. So, Didon, please ask your question. Please, let's just be quick.
Okay, please, my question will be a little bit out of content, but I wanted to ask, do you have any other sites apart from the Google which will help us to make research on our various projects? That's my question. Though it's out of content, please, if you can help. Other side.
Okay, of course, there are many resources online to help you learn whatever you want to learn properly. But when you say your program, like ALX programs, yes, you might not see a particular resource that is going to teach you the project they are giving you on ALX, but you could see other resources that is going to teach you related things. For example, we are learning if-else statements here. You could find other resources that teaches if-else statements, not the particular task you are doing on ALX. Remember, I told us we should try to understand the concept instead of trying to understand the ALX task. So when you understand the concept, you use it to solve your task. So yes, there are plenty sites. Like this program is you're seeing now, they have a C course, interactive C course. You could take the course, but it's basically the basics. Okay, I hope I've answered your question, Didon.
Yes, please. Not precisely only the programming aspect, but since the last time one lady called Bolon, he was assisting her, he was a facilitator, mentioned one site called Chat something. So I like in that angle. I don't know whether you are getting my question for.
I'm not sure. I understand you. But you know what? You can inbox me on WhatsApp and then we'll discuss about it. Then I could give you a pointers to maybe when we discuss, I will understand you more.
Oh, please come again. I'm not getting.
Okay, I said. Okay, somebody just posted ChatGPT. Okay, that's what you mean. ChatGPT is a bot. It's an AI that you could ask questions and it will help answer your question if that's what you're looking for. Okay? But if you start using ChatGPT to code, it will make you very lazy and you will not be able to learn what you're trying to learn. So be sure you understand the concept because even ChatGPT will give you codes. You need to understand the code. So it's good you understand what you're doing before you start asking ChatGPT. Okay, but what I was saying is that you could inbox me on WhatsApp and we'll have a discussion. Then from there, I'll get to understand you more and know what you are looking for, and then I'll give you the pointers. Okay? Okay, I'm sure you got me. So Hussein, okay, I will take your question. Let's be quick, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you, please.
Okay, mine was not really a question because I just wanted to come in on ifs and nested loops. So I just wanted to highlight that we are on the nested loops. So that I thought maybe that's where you were going to touch on and shed more light on the nested loops, which you already did. So I really don't have much to say. It was just a comment, actually, a follow up on the topic that you were doing. I saw you had started on if and else statements, so I just want to highlight that we are already on nested loops, so probably all of them have been covered, or that's what we are currently doing. So thank you for shedding more light on how they work in nested loops.
Okay. Just to conclude on that, I'm not teaching you based on ALX or curriculum, although I'm following that, okay? I'm not going to be taking you, maybe you have if else today, I'll come out today and start teaching you if else. No, that's not what I'm doing. Okay, what I'm doing is trying to make you understand the concept, because most of us will just copy the code and paste without understanding it. So I'm coming back to explain to you what you may have missed. That's why we're having this our session, okay, so you'll get to understand. But definitely we are going to do the nested loops, and when we do, we'll also take our time to solve some of those tasks you have on your nested loops. Okay?
Thank you very much. It's really important because, most of us sometimes when we get stuck, we just copy and paste the things. So okay, we really need to go back and dive deep into these concepts and have a better understanding of how they work exactly. So it's really important. Thank you very much for
Okay, it's good. To just be present on the meet so you see how we apply all those concepts. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So, Fola, I'll take your question now. Fola, I'll take your question now.
Yes. Sorry, actually, it is the thing is I do not understand the last thing, the one that has to do with school boss and co. Like I do not understand any of the response to this bit.
Okay, but have you been paying do you understand if else?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you understand if else. That's basically what we just did here. Let me zoom out my screen so we could see it clearly and everything. Okay, basically the program was to print from 1 to 50. Okay, we saw that printed from 1 to 50, right? Okay, I think I should just add a line of code here. I should remove this, and then I'll just add another line of code here. This is for a new line. Just print a new line. Okay, let's see if that works the way I want it to do. This didn't work. Okay, then I'll just comment that. I don't want to write another code. If not, I wanted to write where we print 1 to 50 and then print this bus. Okay, basically our program was to print from 1 to 50, which is what we have here. But inside the 1 to, we used our for loop to print that 1 to 50 to iterate through it and print 1 to 50. That's by the way. So the main program was that where we have multiples of 3. Multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and so on and so forth. Where we have those multiples of 3, we should print fees. That's what we have. On the place of 3, we have fees. The place of 6, we have fees. Place of 9, 12, 18, we have fees, and so on and so forth. Then where we have bars, we should print 5. Like where we have 5 here, we have bars. Where we have 10, we have bars. Where we have, this is 20, we have bars. So this is 25, so on and so forth. Then where we have multiples of both 3 and 5. For example, multiples of 3 and 5 include 15. 15 is a multiple of 3 and 5. Then we have another multiple of 5, which is 30. It's a multiple of 5. And when we have, is it 45? Yeah, 45 here is a multiple of 3 and 5. We should have fizz bars on those numbers. That is what this program is all about. So we saw how we did it here, that if, remember this statement when we had it in the other thing we wrote, we used our AND operator. So if I is divisible, after dividing it by 3, I is any of these numbers from 1 to 50. So if any of these numbers is divisible after dividing it by 3, it gives us a remainder of 0. Okay? And if that same number after dividing it by 5 gives us 0, that means it's a multiple of 3 and 5. So you print, my battery is low. You print fizz bars. Yeah? Now we have else if here that says if that's another number instead of these numbers, if that number is after dividing by 3 is 0, print fizz. this is the statement for the multiples of 3. Okay, and then we have another one here. Else if any of these numbers after dividing it by 5 gives remainder 0, then print buzz, just as what we had here. Okay, and then our else statement says print I, print any. If all this is false, print I, which means this is not divisible by 3, it's not divisible by 5, it's not divisible by 3 and 5. That is why we are having this statement. This is our else. So after all of this is false, our else statement, the default statement, we just print I, the numbers. That's why we have 1, 2, 4, 7, 8 here. So that is basically the program. I believe you can grab the concepts now from what I said for Lakemi.
Yes, I do. Thank you.
All right. If you still have any more questions, please feel free to reach out to me, Justice, Obasi, Blessing, or any of our seniors that I've added in the group and tag them. Of course, you could do that. My battery is low, but I'm going to turn on my phone now so that if it goes off, I'm going to join immediately with my phone. So who's the next person? John Ezekiel. John Ezekiel, please ask your question.
All right. So I missed this later, so I just want to know, you said class was recorded. I want to know, like, how can we access the class?
Are you in any of the groups?
Yes.
Have you been seeing the announcement? Have you been seeing the links that has been dropped?
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay, then you would have seen that yesterday's session, the link to the video was dropped. Day before yesterday was also dropped. So definitely this one too will be dropped. Definitely.
But let me see now. Even if I can't see, maybe I'll DM you now.
You can always ask for it in the group and tag Justice Obasi. Tag is one of the admins, or inbox him and we'll send it to you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So please, let's always pay attention to whatever I post in the group. Sometimes somebody will come back and ask me the same thing I explained in the group. It's not nice. Okay, that shows that we are not even paying attention to what I'm posting, even in the announcement groups. Please. Okay, Stephen, I will take your question now.
Yes, thanks. Please, I want to know, why do you write the code in comments? What is the meaning? What is the what is the meaning of writing it in comments?
Please,
the two lines of code.
I don't understand your are you asking me what the comment is used for?
No, not the comment. You write printf, but you write 2 slashes before printf. Line.
It's a comment. It is a single line comment. That means I don't want to use these 2 lines of code, so I commented it out.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, you can also watch the video of yesterday where they explain. Okay, I am here in the meet again. My PC went off. So, Stephen, I was saying that you should watch the video of yesterday. Yesterday was on comments and all those, so you get to understand more about comments. Okay, so I'm going to take the next question.
I didn't know that we can write comments inside the code. It was not my.
Of course, you can write comments anywhere in your program. If you write comments anywhere, your compiler is not going to see the comments. That's why it is a comment. So it will just skip it and pass.
Okay.
Adetule Ayomide, let me take your question now.
Okay, good evening. Please, I just said clarification. That's for the last code that you did FizzBuzz. The first thing you did is num. Then you assign that one to 50, like the variable of the value of that num will be 50. But when you did 4, you did int I is equals to 1. Do we have to? I want to know if we can do that outside that 4 to like put that int I is equals to 1. That num is equal to 50. Like Does that 4 cover everything? Do we have to divine it before we put it inside that 4? Or if you put it inside that 4, it will still work the same way?
Okay, I understand your question. Okay, now, no, let me just explain your question. Okay, so I have the int num equals to 50. Yes. And also I have int I instead of my for loop. Now I could have declared the I outside of my for loop and say int I, then I'll put a semicolon, right? Then when I want to use it inside of my for loop, I will not need to write int I again. I'll just write for I equals to 1. Okay, so that's what is happening there. So the reason I'm using int I instead of my for loop is because I have not declared my I. So I'm declaring it there and using it there at once. Okay, do you understand?
I don't know that we can declare it inside that and assign a value for it inside that for loop. So I was confused, like how does it work? Like you not declare it before inside that for loop.
Okay, I understand. Okay, when we actually get to the session on for loops, we are going to take our time to explain for loops too, so that you could see the different concepts you could use with for loops and how it works, and you understand it more.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Okay, so fit sum, I will take your question now.
Okay, thank you, David. So my question is, can you explain to me the difference between printf and puts?
Okay, printf and puts. Our first session on C programming, we were supposed to cover everything that prints to the screen, but unfortunately we were not able to. So perhaps maybe when in our next session I'll just brief through that. Now the difference between printf and puts, they are both doing the same thing, to display our output to the screen, but in different ways. Just like we have different functions that could do the same thing in different ways. So printf, yeah, basically you need to write the keyword printf, open your parentheses, and then you write what you want to display inside of your quotes. But puts, in this case, you write the name of the variable. That means you've declared or you've defined your variable and assign what you love to display to the screen to the variable. So in using puts, you will just put the name of the variable, and then whatever you assign to that variable will be displayed. That's the difference between the both of them. So they are doing the same thing in different ways. So depending on what you are trying to do, you could use any of them. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand. Thank you.
Okay, I know this is a little bit abstract. Maybe in our next session, if you come early enough, let it be the first thing you're going to ask me, and then I will show us how it is practically.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay, I still have another question. Adetule, you have another question, or this is the old one? Your hand is still up.
Sorry, it's still the old one, sorry.
Okay, there's no problem. So I believe we understand if-else statements now. We could use it in solving some of the concepts or any question you might come across. And there are no more questions. So I'm very, very certain that we understand it. Now, yesterday or day before yesterday, I announced that we have C programming repository. Let me try to share my screen and take us to that repository. I want to show us some things. How do you share screen with phone? Okay, share screen. Start share screen. Allow Jim. Okay. I hope this phone gives me what I want. Okay. Jane A, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Jane A. Okay, you can see my screen. Oh, can see my screen. Okay, so this is my profile. C program. Okay, C programming tutorial. Okay, so this is the repository that I want us. If you look at this place, we have 58 forks here. Okay, so you can see that we have 58 forks here. 58 forks means 58 persons have forked the repository. Then if you look at these pull requests, we have over 18 pull requests, which means 18 persons have submitted all their tasks. Yeah, all their tasks that they were asked to do. So this is what you are going to do. I've explained it over and over again. You just go ahead and fork the repository. Open it on your browser, on your web, not the app, or you could still use the app. Open it on your browser, there on the interface, just as I explained. If you don't know how to do it, you could watch the video of yesterday. At the end, you'll see it. I'm going to make a short video explaining only this concept soon. I've been saying this, but time won't allow me. So you fork the repository, go back to your profile, just like this in my own profile. You have this programming tutorial on your own profile. Then you go ahead and clone it. After you clone it to your machine, you CD into C programming tutorial, CD into task, and then this is task 1. So write a program that prints the alphabet in lowercase, followed by a new line. You could do that if you want to do that. You could do that. Let me see if I have that. Okay, this is the one I want you to do. Okay, so task 2, please write it down. Everybody should do task 2 for me. So task 2 says, write a program that asks and reads the score of the user.
Please zoom it a little bit for us. Zoom it a little bit, please.
Okay, I cannot zoom it. I'm using a phone right now to show you, so I can't zoom. But it is there on this. You can open the C programming tutorial right now and check it. On task 2, just write it down, task 2. I'll read it out loud. Write a program that asks and reads the score of the user. If the score is less than 80, display to the user that they are not eligible to be enrolled. If the score is greater than or equal to 80, then you tell them that they can be enrolled. Now, remember this is our ALX program. If you're in your probation, after your probation, if your score is less than 80, you'll be de-enrolled from the program. And if your score is above 80, they will tell you, okay, you can continue the program. So you are going to write a program that is going to ask the user for their scores, like what is your score? Now the user will input their score. We've learned how to prompt the user for input. We've learned how to take user input. Then when you take in their score, you are going to compare the scores. If the score is less than 80, tell them you cannot enroll for the program. If their score is greater than 80 or equals to 80, you will tell them you can enroll for this program. That's what I want to do. So task 2, everybody's doing task 2. Task 3. Okay, I have another program here. I've done this one already. Write a program that reads input from user. If the number is odd, display user input is odd. Now, this user input, you replace it with what the user input. For example, if my input is 13, you say 13 is odd. Okay, if my input was 12, you say 12 is even. That's what that user input means. It is the actual user input that you use there. Now, if the number is 0, display to the user, this is 0, finish. You see the note here, user input should be the number entered by the user. So the input I mentioned here should be the actual input. Okay, so task 2 and task 3, everybody's doing it. What is your name? Okay, we are not going to do this one. So task 2 and task 3, I want it to be submitted tomorrow. So how do you submit it? After you've cloned the repository, you CD into C programming tutorial, you CD into task, then you VI open task 1, and then you do it, and then you save and exit. You CD into task 0, or you VI into task 002. Sorry, task 002 and task 003. You do them, and then you git add, you git push, git add, commit, and push. And then you go back to your profile. Inside the C programming tutorial, you go ahead, you see something, pull request. I showed us yesterday. You can watch the video of yesterday, the end side, and you see it. You go ahead and create a pull request. Just click on pull request, create pull request. It will show a prompt for you to enter description. Write, I have done task 2, I have done task 3, so that I'll be able to know that this is what you did. So I'll just go ahead and go and check it. So when you do that, when you create a pull request, I'll receive a notification that you have done that, and then I'll go ahead and check it. I'll see what you have done, and then I'll review it. If you did something wrong, I'll tell you, okay, go and correct this. If you did good, I'll tell you, okay, you've done well. Hold on, please. If you want to talk, you raise up your hand. I'll give you a chance to speak. Hold on. Don't interrupt, please. Okay. So this is the only way I'm going to track your progress, and we'll grow together. Sometimes you may do it very well, and then I'll come back and tell you, okay, do it like this, another concept. From there, you will learn something else. So if you don't do it, you will not be able to learn all those things. It is very, very important. So please, task 2 and task 3, everybody should do it and create a pull request by tomorrow. That will be all for now. Okay, so someone wanted to ask a question. Please, whenever you want to talk, you raise up your hand. Don't just do like that. If not, I will not be able to finish what I was saying, and I'll forget. So please, hands are up. I'll just take. Okay, Didon, please ask your question. Didon, please ask your question. Did I leave the meet?
I'm sorry. Thank you very much for disturbing you. Please, my question is, the question is, will we be able to get it from our GitHub, or is there any platform? Because I saw the repository. Is it the GitHub that I'm at?
Did you follow what I was saying? I said you are going to fork the repository, clone the repository. When you clone it, you are going to have everything to you. You will fork the repository. You are going to have a copy of that repository in your own profile. Then you go to your profile, you will see it's there. Then you clone that one you have to your repository. You click on code. Then you will see a URL. You copy that URL, watch the video of yesterday, the end side, you will see how to fork the repository, how to clone it. And then when you clone it, just like your normal ALX task, after you clone it, you can CD into that repository. Then you CD into task. And then you attempt task 2 and task 3. And then after doing it, you git add, you git commit, and then you push. After you push, you go back to the repository on your own profile and create a pull request. Then I will receive a notification that you've made some changes. I will go on and check what you've done, and then I will review and mark you. I hope you understand now. Please, if you don't understand how to fork and clone, watch the video of yesterday, the end side, you'll see how to do it. Okay, Fitsum, I'll take the last question now. Fitsum.
Okay, thank you. So my question is where can I go get the link for the repo?
Okay, I will drop the link to the repository again in the groups. So check the groups. I dropped it there for yesterday and yesterday. After now, I'll drop it again, so you could go ahead and use it.
Okay, how about the video?
The video will be dropped.
Last video.
It will be dropped in the group again.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So if you don't understand anything, you can inbox me on WhatsApp, and then I will take care of your questions. We are running out of time already. I have another session by 9 o'clock. Okay, so your name is hard to pronounce. Mensapor. Oh, Mensapor. It's been a while.
Yeah, I just dropped the link to your repo on the thing. So.
Okay, in the messages. Okay, he just dropped the link to the repo. Okay, that's good. But I'll still drop it again in the groups and the steps you could take in doing all those things so that we could follow up. So I think that will be all for now. I believe we've done justice to what we had here today and we understood. So from now till tomorrow, I'm expecting to see the summation of your task. This is the only way I'll be sure that, okay, you're learning something and it will motivate me and the others to do more. Otherwise, I'll feel, okay, everybody's just there doing their thing. Okay? So I believe today's session has been a success. And before we go, Justice Obasi has been here with us, the one who is taking record of the session. So please, let's always appreciate him and others who are trying to make this program a success. So Justice Obasi, I thank you very much for being out here. And please unmute your mic and say hi to the team.
Hi, everyone. You have all done well today. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, sir. We appreciate you too for being around. Okay, so thank everybody for coming out. It has been a successful one, and I believe we've gained the session. So till tomorrow again, I believe we are going to have a session tomorrow about for loops, while loop, and do while loop. So be out again so that you could learn more and attempt more tasks. Oh, someone asks, we're about to close. Oluwakemi, okay, ask your question. Oluwakemi.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you.
Thank you. When I get home, continue.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Okay, thank you everybody for being out here. You can unmute your mic now and say bye to your mates and your teammates. Bye everybody.
Bye everyone.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.